Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Elik, and welcome to World of Profitability, where we discuss everything to help scale up. Today, I'll be breaking down how my week has been, and let's roll. So this week I had a couple of setups. I had 3 CAD JPY setups and one USD JPY setup. It wasn't a very good week, you know. I had a couple of break events and a couple of stop losses too. Basically, I had a 2% loss throughout the week. So the first setup was on CAD JPY, which was on Monday, which is the setup from there. So on Monday at around 9:45 p.m. is when I got my first setup. But I'm going to break down this setup and explain the same concept which is applying to the other setups. But on these setups, on this one setup on KJPY, I made a simple mistake which led to me losing 1% on my Fund and Next account. So heading over to the daily time frame on CAD JPY. So on Monday, when I started trading, the previous day, which was on a Friday 6th, closed very bullish, and so on Monday I was anticipating for some bullish momentum to continue. So from there I went to 15 minutes time frame. That's where I execute my setups. That's where I get my entry confirmations, so that you can get the setup. It's taking quite some time, but let's wait. Okay, and by the way, how has your trading week? Wiki yako ya trading imekuwaje? Let me know in the comment section. So okay, on Monday when I started trading, I started trading at around 6 a.m. So at around 6 a.m. it was it was at this point. So the market had bought quite a lot. As you can see, we had these bullish moves, some pullbacks, and then bull move and good pullback, which is enough. And having seen that pullback, I was ready to write on the momentum, on the buying momentum. So what I was waiting for is a W pattern, which is a reversal pattern. This is what I'm talking about. Sells, buys, sells, and then buys, which crossed above the neckline, which is the neckline, this point where you can see here. So that's my neckline. After price crossing above my neckline, I can either execute instantly, what the fuck, bro? So I can execute instantly, or I can set a buy limit if the price is above the neckline with about 3 pips or more. So that's what happened. I set my buy limit, which was activated within in the next few minutes, which was 15 minutes, and the price moved to a direction for quite some time, and it reached my break-even point, which is 20 pips away from the entry point. It was at about this point here when I set my break-even point. So after setting my break-even point, price dragged back and I pulled up, but eventually it hit our stop loss, which was at a break-even point. And that's how that day trading CAD JPY ended. I did not get any re-entry. At this point, I was anticipating a setup. However, when the 1 hour candle was closing, it was around 7 a.m. and at around 7 a.m. The market went up so much, so I could not catch up with the momentum, and I left the unaachana na place inasonga place inataka. So On the same day, I had another setup on USD JPY, which was a buy setup as well. So from the same USD JPY closed previous day, closed very bullish, and when I was starting to trade, the market was doing this pullback, as you can see here. So it did quite a bigger pullback of about 142 pips. After doing that pullback, what I want to see is a W pattern as usual, which formed very well over here. Some sells, some buys, some sells, and then buys, which closed above the neckline. And after closing above the neckline, what I want to do is set my buy limit. So as you can see from this point, I did not set my buy limit at the neckline point. Why, you may ask? It's because when executing a setup, I want my stop loss to be below or about almost the same point with the previous lows, so that I can avoid being stopped out and market moving to my direction. So that's how that setup ran. It was as well a break-even point, and that's how trading Monday ended up at break-even, no gain, no loss. So heading over to CAD JPY again, the following day, the other markets previous day closed bearish, but on CAD JPY the previous day closed bullish. Let me show you. Closed bullish. So it's this day here which closed bullish with a long wick to the downside, which was signifying that the buyers was taking over the market. And so the following day, which was on Tuesday, I was looking for once getting some bullish setup, and luckily I got some. So let's wait for it to load. Okay, here we go. I got this setup from this point. It's taking quite some time. Okay, I got this setup over here, which was a loss. So something I learned about from this setup is I made a mistake of not setting my buy limit at exactly at the the neckline. Let me show you the W pattern. Is the W pattern, some sells, some buys, some sells and buys, which closed above the neckline. Instead of setting my buy limit from this point, which would have been executed in the next 15 minutes after the pattern formed, I set it lower, and the market never reached there. It went up and then came back to our limit order and activated the order and went to our stop loss. If I had placed the limit order at the neckline, this setup would have resulted to a break even. You know why? It's because I set my break even 20 pips towards 20 pips away from the entry. So if you measure 20 pips away from the entry, this market did exactly 20 pips. So my setup would have been lining at a break even, but these are the setups that we learn from, and to avoid such mistakes happening in future. So after that setup, I got another re-entry over here. So I spotted another W pattern after getting stopped out. Some sells, some buys, and then some sells and then buys, which closed above the neckline. So I waited for the previous 1 hour to close bullish, and then I set my buy limit. It was activated and price went to our stop loss. So today I don't have so much update. That's it for now. So our fund next phase 1 is at a break even. Not a break even, but negative 2%. So that's it for now. See you in the next episode.